has been 52 minutes since the launch of Silksong. I've still not been able to buy Silksong.
Bro, is Hollow Knight hype that fucking crazy? Holy shit.
Noting is Silksong's player numbers right now.
That is fucking insane. I saw an update to this, guys. Apparently, Silksong has broken 500,000 concurrent players. Let me repeat that. 500,000 concurrent players, not including the people that are asleep at work or at school. That's fucking insane.
Saying things like Steam, PSN, and Nintendo
That's fucking crazy, dude.
eShop are currently down due to the Silksong launch. So Silksong is...
You know what's the craziest thing to me, and it's the most base thing that blew my fucking mind? The price. Hollow Knight was already, according to statistics that I've seen, one of the biggest indie games, heck, even biggest game that people were looking forward to, especially Silksong, right? Ever. And they priced it for $20. And it's one of the top most anticipated expansions to a game ever.
Yeah, but this is a cool story, and I can tell you how it kind of came about. But I'm used to stories that are about like mismanagement and protracted development stories that are just like torturous and turbulent and full of like all sorts of crunch and problems. And when I spoke to Team Sherry, they were like, "Yeah, it took 7 years because we were just having so much fun." And
So base. The fuck, bro. Yeah, it took 7 years because we were just having so much fun with the debt. Oh, like they'd come up with the new level and they'd be like, yo, bro. Hey, Johnny. Yo, Johnny, my man. Bro, if you move the sprite of this one bug on the second floor, he tweaks out. It's funny as fuck. You gotta go check it out. And Johnny from the other side, yo, bro, that ain't true. Ain't no fucker. Hey, you want a coffee? You want a donut? I'm feeling donuts today. If you could get me a donut, I got you, brother. Comes over. Oh my God, it really, bro, that caterpillar be tweaking out. They get to the next level, bro. Ice ward or the enemy, bro. Huh? Time stop. What the fuck? Are we putting that in the game? No, fuck no. We're not putting that in the game. But like, it's not funny, right? I love it. I love that they had this passion project, right? And they were just having fun with the dev time. Because at the end of the day, you're making a fucking video game, you know? And the sad reality is, for all these big, passionate projects that we want to make and release, it requires money and it requires investment and it requires a team, right? And because of that, once you get like a board of directors or investors that you got to respond to, you got to crunch out the marketing of the game, and it becomes industrialized, right? And it can take away from the passion of making video games. And I love that Team Cherry was just like, dude, we are going to have a fun time with this project. Because at the end of the day, if we're not having fun with the dev of this new game, right, then why is anyone going to play our game if we're not having fun? You know, it starts with us. So if we're not having fun, like what the hell, you know?
like,
Wait, that's the reason?
It's one of the reasons. They like have discovered this where they just have so
dude.
much fun creating things that like they were just like, all right, I mean, I guess it's done, but like we're just having so much fun making this thing, like coming up with new ideas. And
Wait, so was Silksong originally a DLC or was it always a standalone game? Question mark. Because he's making this sound like it was originally just a DLC. And then like they just had a shit ton of fun and made it a game. DLC, but it got expanded too much. I love that. Wait, that's amazing. Oh, that's so good. Wait, that's so fucking cool. So they were making it a DLC. They were like, bro, I want to keep adding stuff. You cool if we keep adding stuff to it? Hell yeah, man. Let's just make it a video game. Like a full-blown project. I love that,
We're just
dude.
having so much fun making this thing, like coming up with new ideas.
Yes.
And basically they are able to, so they started at the very beginning. They started by creating Hornet's kind of moveset and her gameplay and the way she feels. And then from there, because of how they work in their pipelines and their 2D, they could just like really easily draw sketches or like come up with ideas and just implement them into the game really, really quickly, which made it so much fun for them because they could just come up with ideas for items and bosses and mechanics and just throw them in, test them out, have a great time with them. And they just enjoyed it so much that like that's one of the reasons it took so long.
Okay, but
and then on top of that, the game kept growing, and also I think probably the biggest factor. This one is a little obvious, but the biggest factor is that they are so rich that they don't need to release anything.
It's such a flex. Holy shit, dude. Okay, this might be one of my favorite. I haven't even played the fucking game, and this might be one of my favorite devs ever. Holy shit.
On top of that, the game kept growing, and also I think
I don't even know Team Cherry or played the fucking game, and they might actually be one of my favorite devs ever, dude.
probably the biggest factor. This one is a little obvious, but the biggest factor is that they are so rich that they don't need to release anything.
Okay, that's been sort of the soft theory from everyone for a while, which is like they don't need our money, and there's no rush on their end. Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's like, and I say that.
Boss, the reason Steam in the online store was crashing was because they didn't have a pre-order. Wait, really? Why? No pre-order. Why no pre-order, you ask? Because devs said no one will play it early. Everyone will experience at the same time, which causes the store. Oh, that's based. Wait, that's actually so fucking based.
And I say that in a totally, like, these guys aren't buying Mega Mansions or anything. If anything, Ari Gibson, one of the two members of Team Cherry, told me that, like, he lives in a 2-bedroom apartment and he's always in the office. So if anything, he wishes he has had a 1-bedroom apartment, so he had less to clean and maintain.
So he finally ran out of rent money and he had to make the new game.
Exactly. No, they've sold. Okay, so here's some breaking news from me. This has not been public until today, but they've sold 15 million copies.
Wow. I was not familiar with their game. Okay, oh shit. I knew it was big. I didn't. God damn. That's 15 million times 20. That's 15 million times 20. Bro, what the fuck? Insane.
And the craziest part of that, the craziest stat there is not that they've sold 50 million copies, which makes it one of the biggest indie games of all time. They had sold, when Silksong was announced, they had sold only 2.8 million copies. So 4/5 of the copies of Hollow Knight have been sold since Silksong was announced. So
holy shit.
basically, as the hype kept growing, people just kept buying the game. It was on sale all the time. Word of mouth was amazing, obviously. But yeah, that's crazy, right? Like,
that's insane. I mean, I played the game a little bit after it came out, actually quite a few years after it came out. And I remember saying, I'm glad.
15 or 50? No, 15 million copies, not dollars, copies. So you do 15 million times $20 and you get, or was it $15? $15, then you get the total
I
amount,
waited because now I get Silksong without waiting like these losers. And that was 4 or 5 years ago.
That was 2020. Yeah, so my history of this game is really interesting too, and I can get into like how this article happened and why I wound up talking to them too.
Okay. Yeah.
Because so I had heard a little bit about it when it came out. They had actually, Ari and William, the creators of Team Cherry, they had actually pitched me on it when they were still doing a Kickstarter, and I was at Kotaku, and they reached out and they were like, "Hey, you did this," and I kind of ignored it because I had gotten a bazillion Kickstarter pitches at the time. But so they knew who I was, and they knew me from Kotaku. And then a couple years later, it came out. It got some really good word of mouth buzz, but it wasn't like big or anything. It was maybe sold a few 100,000 copies, so big, but not like massive.
Not like world.
Bro, if I ever make from content creation a shit ton of money, and I mean like way more than I make right now, like absurd copious amounts, I would invest in wanting to make a video game made. Nothing crazy, not Expedition 33. That would require me to be a fucking multi-millionaire, billionaire type shit, right? Just something like Hollow Knight style. You know what I mean? Like a nice, good indie game with a small team where we just kind of have fun and go back and forth and have a good time and have fun with the project. If I were able to do that, and then I would even make it so that like I would show the development on stream, because I feel like that would fuck. I don't know many games or like people that do that, but I feel like that would be so sick if you had like, you know what I mean? Not everything, but a good amount of it showed the process on stream. That'd be fire.
Okay.
And then
That
E3
would be sick.
2018.
And then the other thing, an anime, but not a full-blown series, just like, I don't know, like a 3-episode, 5-episode, one and done thing, you know, and call it there. Those are like the crazy fucking bucket shot ideas that I have. If we can save enough money, we'll see though.
It shadow dropped on Switch. So Nintendo had a direct at E3 2018, and they put it on. And Team Cherry announced at that direct, it's out on Switch right now.
Right.
And I had heard enough good things about that game that I was waiting for the Switch version to play it portably, and so that's when I downloaded it that day that it came out on Switch. And me and my my podcast co-host Kirk Hamilton, at the time we were doing a podcast called Kotaku Split Screen. Now we do a podcast called Triple Click, which people should go check
it out.
Check out Triple Click. And so we started getting really into it, and we started raving about it on Split Screen. And then we brought on Team Cherry to come and chat with us on Split Screen back in 2018. And so again, this was like it was big. It was a hit. It was a hit indie game, but it wasn't like a cultural phenomenon. It wasn't like a smash sensation the way it is now. And even when we had them on Split Screen, they were like, "Yeah, we're working on this Hornet DLC. It's going to be pretty cool." And then cut to February 2019.
Wait, so it was a DLC originally?
The original idea was actually that you would just play Hollow Knight with Hornet as your main character instead of the Knight.
Okay,
so really funny. And then cut to February.
Bro, they went all out for this game. It literally was just like a DLC like character swap, and that's it. And you would just play like the original game, and that's it. And then it became this full-blown project. I love that.
2019. So February 2019, I think it was Valentine's Day. They announced, hey, this thing has gotten out of hand. It's gotten too big. We're turning it into a full game called Silksong.
Hell yeah.
And at that point, they were like, we don't know when it's going to be out, but we'll let you know. Like, we're back to work on it. And
hey, I don't know the Hollow Knight, like, game, the devs, the culture, the community as much. But if you're watching this YouTube, we released a video checking it out for the first time, a video essay. If there's other videos you want us to check out, let me know. But what I do know is this. Team Cherry, in my opinion, from the amount of money they made, they could have priced it at $45 or $50, right? Maybe not 45, maybe like 35 to 45, right? And I feel like everyone still would have paid. Maybe not right away, but I feel like they would have gotten away with it and they would have made a shit ton of money. And they still priced it at 20. And that is as based as you can possibly get, okay? As base as, look, I'm the guy that swipes for gacha skins. I ain't gonna lie, okay? I can't help it. When the character looks that good, I like to support more art like that, all right? But just being real for a second, gacha skins on average are $20 to $100, typically $60, just for a skin, right? Bro, Silksong is $20. Let that sink in. That's crazy. That is. I love Hot Woman. I can't. It's a thing, man.
And E3 of that year, they actually had a demo of it at E3, and I went and played.
Shit, if there's like a full armored gacha skin of like a warrior dude, like I'm there too. I can't help it. I like art and music.
It's so funny that demo.
Assuming the game is good, and I like it. You know, that's the biggest
totally
thing.
Empty, but like you didn't have to wait in line to go play it. Like people did.
To add to this, Marco, my boy Marco, wasn't planning on playing it, but was cursed by his chat, so he played and he never regretted it.
What Silksong was. Silksong was not a meme then. Right. When it was announced, it was like it.
Yo, real talk though, I fuck with the art in Hollow Knight. Do they have like an art book, or are they planning to release an art book? I love the art designs.
Gradually became that over time, and so at E3 2019, I played it. It was really cool. Hilariously, that demo was the same exact demo they brought to Gamescom this week. So all these people were waiting in line 3 hours to play this demo.
The demo from
I played 6 years ago. Yeah. And then what happened was they posted like another update at the end of 2019, and then they were just completely radio silent. They just dropped off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
And that is what started the hype, because the more word of mouth builded for Hollow Knight, the more people started to realize that there was a sequel in development, but the developers hadn't said anything.
Yeah.
See, and that's what bro, people disagree with me on this. I die on the hill. I really do. I really do. I will die on the fucking hill. I've had so many people disagree with me on this. If the game is good, it will bang. Don't care what anyone says. If the game is good, it will bang. It might not be like a cultural phenomenon, but it will bang. It will profit. It will make money. Gamers are, and it's the one thing I give credit to. A game could have no fucking marketing. If the game is good, the gamers will market it. They will find your game. It does not matter. There's a reason why Among Us came out and it got jack shit. Marketing and attention. Nothing. Nobody even fucking knew what Among Us was, right? And a while later, someone accidentally fucking found it, played it with their boys, you know what I'm saying, with the homies, with the family, talked about it online, it spread, and then like wildfire, boom, cultural phenomenon, Among Us, left and right, content everywhere, right? Good quality content will bang every time. Marketing is important, but I do wish we would go back to quality game first, marketing second type of priority with these companies. And now, sadly, the focus is marketing first and quality games second, because what these corporate suit and tie people have learned, sadly, is that if a game is marketed enough, even if it's shit, people will talk about it right away so they can cut corners and still make money. And that's the sad reality, right? But I do believe that we really need to go back to a timeline where, and I think we're slowly going back to it, where quality games take control. And we're seeing this with Expedition 33, and it looks like we're seeing this with Silksong, with how much you guys are hyping it up.
It's the end of 2019. Then cut to 2022, and the Xbox thing happened. And basically, they said at the Xbox conference it would be out within a year.
Yeah,
I asked them about this for
guaranteed
the
it.
article.
Yeah.
Again, go check out the article. The link should be in chat,
I don't know who this guy is. I like his energy a lot.
hopefully, but go
Yeah,
check
we
out
love
the
his
article
energy.
because the whole story is in there. It's a really fun story, like one of my favorite stories that I published this year, and it's really fun to read. But the Xbox thing, they basically said they know it was, or sorry, they thought at the time that it was going to come out within the year. And they were like, for a while now, we've thought it was going to come out within a year. That's just how they make games.
Okay, but what stopped them? Like they were.
Well, everything takes longer. Okay, a few things, right?
Yeah.
Everything takes longer than they think it will. There are only 3 of them. They have a few contractors also, but it's basically William and Ari, the co-founders, and
Sure.
their programmer, Jack Fine, and then a few
I'm sorry, what?
testers. They have a composer, one other programmer on contract, but very, very small team. And
Whoa. Dog, they made that much money and they still got a small team? Ooh, whoa, I love that. Wait, hell yeah, man. That's fire. I love that.
everything just takes a while. Games take a
Another thing I will die on the hill for, games that failed at release can totally be fixed and come back. I agree. Final Fantasy XIV, best example. It was an ass game, the worst game of all time. It was absolute shit back in 1.0. Bro, I fell in love with the game when 2.0 released. I'm not gonna lie.
long time to make.
It's never too late to make a comeback. It never is.
What they did a few times was they would like polish aspects of the game, like the back half of the front half of the game or something, and they would be like, well, now the entire game has to be this level of polish. Like the entire game has to be this good and this consistently good.
Just hire someone. Just
yeah, it's
He said just hire someone.
and
hire someone. Just
yeah it's, well, I mean, they felt like hiring people would make it take even longer, because like delegating and managing, like that just adds even more headaches to your work.
It does.
And here's the thing, the important thing is they were having so much fun making the game that like they didn't want to ruin that. They didn't want to ruin the formula.
I love that. I love that. That's so good.
Like for them, it was much more important to be enjoying their day-to-day
Okay,
lives
I understand
than like getting the game out.
that they were having a great time.
No, I find No, fuck it. Take your time. Take another 10 years before you ever talk about Hollow Knight again. But if you're having fun with it, fuck yeah, dude. I love that. We need more like passionate, moments with the things that we're creating. Yes.
And I appreciate that. I'm sure the game's going to show it. But were they at all aware that the entire world was screaming for it and that...
That's the other thing. Okay, so this is also in the article. And once again, I hope people go and read the story because the whole story is in my article. They are totally offline. They are very not online people. They are in their own cave. They have
Whoa. Wait, that's fascinating.
never looked at the Silksong Reddit. They have been totally occasionally friends and family would send them the funniest jokes, but
The friends and family are more in tune. Wait, that's great.
they were totally out of touch with.
They're
the
sitting
internet.
there thinking, I hope somebody wants our game. I don't even.
I mean,
no one's even gonna remember it.
I don't know. No, they know people like the game. They just don't. I told them, I was you guys
shit.
know that on every single Nintendo Direct, people are just Silksong, Silksong.
Every gaming announcement at all, period, for the past 5 years. I don't
They
care.
were
if
just they were just oh, well, I mean,
I don't know the comeback story of Final Fantasy 14, but I love the comeback story of No Man's Sky thanks to the internet historian, and that's why I bought the game even though I don't play it. Bro, Ultralink, no lie, YouTube, if you're watching this, we are going to watch something that I saw 20 years, not 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 7 years ago. I don't know how long ago it was. It was the No Clip documentary. It's the only one I've ever seen from No Clip, talking about how ass 1.0 was for Final Fantasy 14, and then the comeback the team and the game had. And they go into so much detail. So we will be checking that out. Expect a video on that in the future.
it seems like we're gonna ruin their fun by releasing this game. That's a good
Yeah, we should probably delay it a few more years so they can keep having fun. Begging.
Wait, that's fucked,
Just
bro.
oh, well, I mean, it seems like we're gonna ruin their fun by releasing this game. That's a good
Yeah, we should probably delay it a few more years so they can keep having fun. Begging for it.
And then at a certain point,
No.
they were like, okay, we see, our vision for this game has been realized. We see it. We see the full shape of it. Now we
Hell
just
yeah.
have to finish polishing and, do all this, last minute work. That was, at the beginning of this year. So at the beginning, around, early this year, February, March or so, they had a good idea that it was going to come out in September. And that's when
Ooh.
they started entering final polish mode. And that's when, all the hints started coming out from Xbox and Nintendo, it's coming this year. And then what happened was I've been wondering about this for a long time, and I've been kind of waiting for the optimal moment to reach out to them. And they don't have their tiny studio. It's two of them.
Yeah, there's
co-founders
no
of the studio,
PR
3
person
people
or whatever.
full-time work there. They don't have a PR person. They have one guy, this guy Leth, who a lot of people know, who's their marketing guy. I talked to him a couple times, but not about Silksong or anything. And so I just kind of on a whim, I was just like, hey, Ari, I hope you're doing well, man. Do you want to talk about the development of this game? And he was like, sure, let's hop on a video call. Good timing. He was like, sure, let's hop on a video call. So it's funny,
I love how they're just like, oh yeah, we can have a quick interview. Sure, I don't even, bro. Yeah, having an interview about our game would be good. You kind of cooked with that one, bro. I love the energy these devs have, man.
I don't know if people
That's
think that
great.
I got some big exclusive because they came to me and they were like, oh, we want the Jason Schreier
Oh.
exclusive. I was just like, no, I just want to talk to you guys. And so I just reached out to them and they were like, oh yeah, sure, let's hop on a video call. And we had a chat last week. They told me what they were going to do. And I was like, perfect. I will plan on running the story about this game when the trailer hits so that people can see the trailer, find out the release date, find out it's coming in just 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and read the story of why it took so long. And it was a blast. I mean, I came into the interview expecting them to be like, man, we had so much, we have these personal struggles.
That's
we
what I
had
thought
such
you
a
were going
great
to tell me.
time."
I thought you were
And
going to tell
instead
me
they
they
were
had infighting or they couldn't agree or or Xbox was a terrible partner. Or I thought it was going to be that. So I'm shocked to hear you tell me they had too much fun.
They had too much fun
I've never
making
heard
the
that.
game. And so it took them.
Is that it? Is that really the only fucking reason it took 7 years? That's it. Bro. I was expecting something else. I thought that was okay, maybe that's the main reason. But maybe there was like a publishing issue or a coding issue or a
Like the 7 years because they were having a blast.
Dude.
I swear to God, that is what happened. And talking to them was so fun. They were like more excited about getting to keep working on DLC for Silksong than they were about the game coming out. They were like, yeah, we're stoked like the
Don't
game
tease
come out.
a Silksong DLC. You're setting up the next problem, Jason. Don't
You
bring.
should
We're
see.
not,
Listen, their secret plan is that
Yeah.
if they release something every 7 years, then it will increase the gamer life expectancy because we have a reason to live, right? It's like I waited 7 years for Silksong. I can wait another 10 for another game to come out. You know what I mean? I have a reason to wake up another day.
You should go to the bottom of the article. You
dude.
gotta read the
Okay,
go
wait,
scroll
the
down and
last
look at the
sentence?
bottom of the
Okay, let
article,
me
like
see.
the last two.
I was reading it
paragraphs.
live until you joined, so I will definitely finish
okay, read
it.
the
once
last two
I'm-
paragraphs.
All right,
Okay.
last two paragraphs.
Okay.
The most interesting thing now is what we can add to it next, Gibson said. We got a plan. Admittedly, some of the plans for that stuff are kind of ambitious as well, but hopefully we can achieve some of it. Stay tuned for 2032 to see how that's ambitious, 2032. It's going to be
2032. Bro, these might be the funniest fucking devs ever. I love them so much.
I'm going to be an 80-year-old man with
Holy-
Silksong DLC.
I feel like there must always be a wait for like new
Yo, I might be a dad by then,
holiday
dog.
content. That's just like it wouldn't be.
So let me tell you about this one game back in my day.
It wouldn't feel right if we weren't waiting for more holiday stuff. But yeah, man, it's coming out in 2 weeks. Literally 2 weeks
shit,
from today.
dude.
Silksong is coming
That's
out. It's gonna take
crazy,
Over my
man.
streaming life.
And yeah, man, it's so interesting. I feel like this is me personally speaking. This is not something I talked about with them, but I feel like their radio silence just added so much mystique that it like played an amazing form of marketing. Just them not saying anything.
100%.
Yeah,
I was going to say
I
that earlier when
agree.
you mentioned that was like, it kind of unintentionally became the greatest indie game marketing campaign of all time. Like,
Yeah, man, and that wouldn't work for most things, but just because.
You know what? It's so funny because that wouldn't work for most things at all. That's actually usually a shit idea. You can't bank off of that. The reason why that worked here is because Hollow Knight, according to you guys and the internet, and the 15 million copies sold, is a banger. And because it's a banger, people expect another banger. Let him cook. Hey, that was a generational indie game. You let those guys cook. We don't judge. We just wait. We hope for the best. You know what I mean? And it ends up becoming the best marketing tactic ever, unintentionally, because it's quality, because it's passion driven, right?
Because of the word of mouth around Hollow Knight, and yeah, it's just it's a stunning story. I hope everybody reads the whole story because like you gotta check it out. It's so much fun. It's such a fun story, and it's like such a feel good story, unlike most of the stories that I write, which makes me very happy. Like
This is why I adamantly say to game devs, delay if you need it. I agree. I think the sad reality is the suit and ties, the investors, right, the legal teams, the finance teams. They're very strict about like what can and can't be done for a lot of these games. But I'm of the belief that, bro, delay the game if it's not ready. Have fun and also make sure it's fun and make sure you're proud of it to release. And the sad reality is these investors still don't get that. They don't get that if you just delay and it's a banger on release, that's actually way better than trying to recover. Because yes, there's always time to recover, like we said earlier, right? Final Fantasy 14 did it to a great extent. You guys keep saying in the chat, No Man's Sky apparently did really good for a comeback. Like, yeah, you can come back, but if you have a strong release, that's always better than a terrible release that then became good, right?
I was talking to them, I kept saying to them, guys, like Ari William, I am so happy to hear this because I'm so used to like having these conversations that are just heartbreaking with people.
Like, I still haven't played Cyberpunk 2077 because of the fact that the rep it got initially was so damn bad, right? But now I hear it's so damn good. Let me know if there's any videos that we can check out on Cyberpunk 2077. My fiance says I would, and my brother actually, both say it would be one of my favorite video games of all time.
About how grueling the video game industry is and how it crushes people. And here you guys are being like, Yeah, we're just having a blast. We're just in our little cave, like making games. Like we have so much fun making games. We don't do anything else. They told
Cyberpunk
me
today
that
is
like
goated, really.
occasionally people will drop by.
I've heard
with, like,
nothing
their
but good things
children
about it
to
lately.
like see their office and like say hi and like try to find out Silksong news. And they'll just be like, "Yeah, like look at our grubby little office that like doesn't even have art on the walls. Like we don't like you don't want to be here. Don't come in here."
Hopefully they can afford a real office after Silksong sells 40 million copies or whatever.
I mean, after Hollow Knight sold 15 million copies, they can afford whatever they want. They just have prioritized the game. And also, I think some people might have like worried that because they were so rich and like comfortable, that they didn't have to work on the game. But no, they were putting in many, many hours.
Yeah,
because
that was my
is what
question.
they enjoy. Well, so like this is the thing they seem to, from my conversations with them, they seem to love most in the world is not releasing
That's
things.
awesome.
It is just making this game. Like it brings them so much joy.
That's
And I think
awesome.
I love that, bro. I don't keep saying that, but it's like what brings them joy isn't even fucking releasing the game for people. Like, yeah, I'm sure that brings them some joy. Most of their joy comes from making the game. That's so fucking cool and wholesome, man.
you can tell that from the final product, and it's even hearing that made me so optimistic that Silksong is going to be like as good if not better than Hollow Knight was, is because they just seem like they're just having such a good time making it. And I feel like you can feel that in the
Yeah.
final product.
Yeah, I am very, very excited. And it is cool to see a good story, like you said. I read most of your stuff, and it is always, I mean, even the Blizzard example we talked about on stream before was,
Yeah.
that was a nightmare. It's just years and years and
Yeah.
decades actually of nightmares and business getting in the way of art.
Not
and-
all nightmares. Some
No,
good
no,
and
there was some
bad,
good
but
stuff. Yeah, but you know, some certain disasters. You know, Anthem. I remember a story about that. Like all these crazy.
Man, do y'all remember Anthem, bro? I was so, and I should have known. I should have, correct me if I'm wrong. I should have known. That's EA, right? Dog, I should have known. I know better. It's EA. I'm pretty sure that's EA, right? But it looked so fucking cool. I should have known. EA, come on, bro. You've played this game before. It's EA. You know they're probably gonna be greedy and fuck it up. But the concept looks so fucking sick. And then,
games with disasters, and it's cool to see this one actually come to fruition in a good way. I'm
yeah.
very stoked. Is
Anthem
there anything else
looks
you want to
so
tell us
cool,
from
dude.
the article? Anything else we should know? Any fun fact? We're gonna read the full thing.
Yeah, I hope people read it. I mean, you can read it on stream, of course,
Yeah.
but I hope people click on it and read it themselves.
Yes.
Because that is how we stay in operation, and I am able to keep doing it is by people actually reading the article and clicking it and maybe subscribing and
Oh,
Bloomberg. if they
100%,
want. But
yeah.
yeah, no, it's really exciting. I can't wait to like actually get the game and for the conversation to be not around the hype anymore, but around the game itself and how cool it is. Because like it sounds pretty rad. One thing that I'll say is that like in the article doesn't have any spoilers or any details about the game itself, in part because I said to Ari and William, I was like, I don't want
Don't
to
spoil
know
me.
anything about the game. Don't tell me anything.
Yeah.
Because like so much of the joy of Hollow Knight was just like randomly like walking in a tunnel and finding like a whole new region and being like, oh my god, there's an entire new like space in here.
bro, going in blind is the best, real.
This game is
If y'all have any videos, YouTube, if you're watching this, if you have any videos you recommend of great games like this, or just specifically for Hollow Knight, where it's like it talks about how great the game is or really cool things to be excited about without spoiling the lore, please let me know.
like 1,000 times bigger than I ever thought it was gonna be, or like finding like thinking to yourself, oh, I wonder what happens if I like duck under that big worm thing, and is there a
absolutely.
hidden passage here? And oh, hey, cool, there's a larva here. Oh, cool, there's a what's it called, charm here. So yeah, I can't wait to just like dive in. I don't want to know anything about Silksong. I just want to jump in.
Yeah, I
and,
mean the
I'm so
truth is
excited
for
the game.
me for Hollow Knight, the original one, I don't like Metroidvanias or Hollow Knight likes, as Zoomers will call it. And I played it and I didn't like it at first. I got lost so easily. I didn't know what was going on and I almost churned out. And then I had the Mantis Lords fight early on and I was like, this game is so beautiful. And it hooked me. And ever since then, I've been such a fan. Like I played 110% of the game on stream. I still play it on stream every now and then.
Okay, so when we try Hollow Knight, I can't quit it until we get to the, what do you say, the Mantis Lord?
And it's an incredible game.
Because he said he wasn't about it until that happened, and then it clicked.
game that kind of won me over with its charm and its art and its enemies and like against my stupid odds. Like my brain is so dumb, I was lost so easily. So
Yeah, I feel like my ass is gonna be. If anything, I recommend. Don't watch me play Hollow Knight. You might go insane. I might like, you know, just get lost and forget mechanics that I should know because that I already learned it like 4 times in a row. And
I'm
maybe
very
you guys
excited about it. I
shouldn't
think this
watch
is going to be
that,
such
you know?
a smash hit. Although I do think here's a story for you.
Yeah.
The game has become so hyped. I think it will.
Hugely
For
hyped.
me, I think it'll live up to the hype. I think it's going to do incredibly well. But when you're the #1 most wishlisted game on Steam, and there's a meme about it and there's a story, I think they're going to bring in a lot of people who don't realize they don't.
I mean,
Yes, they don't-
it was a trap.
Like they're gonna
Like, I
think
didn't
they're
get
gonna
the
love this
action-
game and they're gonna
Ivan,
get.
meanwhile, got the
We'll
action
see.
combat
I
event
hope
one,
they
dude.
give it a chance because the game is so beautiful. But like the
Yeah.
meme has gotten so much bigger than the game among certain audiences. Like people that don't even know about.
Yeah, whenever something is hyped,
Yeah.
there's always going to be backlash. There's always going to be the Reddit posts and the like YouTube comments that are just like, "Oh, Silksong sucks. Oh, all the hype for this. Oh, I beat it in 40 hours. Like, what the hell? Like, come on, man. I spent 7 years for this shit. It's just Hollow Knight." Or the biggest complaint I bet is going to be like, "Oh, it's just Hollow Knight 2. It's just the same as Hollow Knight."
I hope everyone in our community isn't like that. All right, I really do.
That's the point.
That's the point, exactly.
Right.
But
That's
yeah,
the-
no, for real. The only thing I'll say,
Yeah,
I didn't mention this to them or ask them about this, but the only thing I'll say is I think my only real complaint about Hollow Knight, it's been a while, so I might have other complaints, but my biggest complaint was how long the run could be from a bench to a boss and how annoying it was to like
Oh,
because
yeah.
you would keep dying on a boss and you'd have to go through a whole gauntlet to get there, which is kind of like an old school Souls thing that I feel like even From Software has changed, and now like with Elden Ring, every single boss you just have a stake
get
right
a-
before
yeah,
it, or like
yeah.
so hopefully
I'm scared because I know you fuckers are gonna somehow, I say that lovingly, somehow make me play the older Dark Souls games. Dark Souls 3 especially scares me. Yeah, that's not gonna be fun. Where you gotta like run the gauntlet again just to get to the bro.
in Silksong you have a bench before each boss fight, because I think that would make the game stronger.
Well, if not,
'cause
they'll
I
fix
don't
it.
think I think
In the DLC.
Yeah, exactly, in the DLC.
In
Yeah.
9 years.
Because I do think I see the logic behind being like, all right, we want more tension, we want this to be kind of a pain to get there, but I think the tension of the bosses is high enough as it is in
Yeah.
Hollow Knight that I don't think I think you could just have the benches be right outside
I'm with
the
you.
But yeah, you know what I'm really excited for here? I'll show off my gamer cred a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
I played through most of Hollow Knight. I did not do the boss gauntlet because that shit was a pain in the ass.
The rest sounds like slight potential spoilers, maybe. So we're gonna call it there just to be on the safe side. But YouTube, if you're watching this, let me know your thoughts on the interview down below. Let me know your thoughts on waiting 7 years because the devs were having fun. I fucking love that. I think we need more passionate devs and, you know, teams that are just looking to make a really cool ass thing that they're having fun with and then share it with the world because it translates to the game actually being good. Because then we get the same enjoyment, right? Ideally, hopefully. And then let me know what you're looking forward to the most and what videos you'd like for us to check out, like this one, whether it's Hollow Knight related or otherwise. And we will see you soon. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Join us on Kick for ad-free live streams. We do it almost every single day. And membership website for anime breakdown and discussions and reactions. See you soon. Love y'all. Adios.